You may have a crow visiting your yard right now that has already been here before, not because it looks the same, but because it indexes you the same. Same 180-degree head tilt, same calculated distance from the copper wire, same absolute stillness before it drops from your roof. Most people never notice this. To them, it's just a bird passing through. But crows don't pass through spaces. They build repetition grids. And repetition becomes memory. And memory becomes a physical structure, which means a simple question starts to matter. If the same crow keeps returning to your yard, what turned your private space into its predictable asset? Because it's rarely about food. It's about risk evaluation. And once a place becomes low risk, it stops being treated like unknown wild territory. It becomes part of an active system. Welcome back. If you're new here, don't rush past this. Because once you decode this pattern, it changes how every black silhouette outside your window behaves. Number one, the crow you're seeing is not an isolated moment. It's a continuation of yesterday's file. You step outside. It is already there. Same apex on the roofline. Same tactical alignment with the environment. Same heavy silence before movement. At first, it feels like seasonal coincidence. But nature doesn't waste energy on randomness when a routine works. If a coordinates matrix produces a safe outcome, it gets locked in. And reuse creates automatic behavior. And automatic behavior eliminates hesitation. Number two, crows don't store your yard as a flat visual image. They map it as an environmental database. The exact angle of the morning light hitting your windows, the precise metallic click of your front door lock, the specific weight of your footsteps on the gravel path. They don't just see a human moving, they decode your facial geometry. Your morning routine is no longer yours. To the crow, it's a reliable sequence of environmental markers. The yard stops being an open field. It becomes a calculated matrix. Number three, recognition changes their physical biology in a quiet way. There's less scanning, no panicked head jerks, no defensive delays. You might hear a low, rhythmic rattle sound from its throat. That's not a random vocalization. It's a confirmation click. The crow already knows what your environment will do next. It has predicted your path, and that predictability is what allows the loop to strengthen. Number four, from the outside, the casual eye sees nothing. A bird arrives, a bird leaves, but the true mechanism is not the moment you look at it. It's the moments you don't. A 4-second freeze on your gutter, a brief, hidden check from the branches, quiet, daily confirmations that your schedule hasn't changed. Each invisible visit reinforces the same conclusion. The human pattern still holds. Number five, this is where human perception completely fails. Because we interpret absence as randomness. One day, it's on the wire. Another day, the wire is empty. Then it returns. But in the crow's cognitive map, nothing is disconnected. When it's not there, it's often testing you from a deeper, obscured vantage point, watching how your yard behaves when the silhouette is gone. Same parameters, same returns, same conditions being tested again and again. And when the results stay safe, the pattern stops being evaluated. It starts being assumed. Number six, at this point, your roof is no longer visited. It is indexed, a known anchor point in space where outcomes never surprise. And when a location stops producing surprise, it becomes highly efficient to exploit. Data density is what replaces curiosity, and calculated calculation is what replaces choice. Number seven, from the outside, it still looks beautifully simple. A crow appears, then disappears, then returns later. But inside that simplicity, the architecture of a permanent route is forming. not because it was planned by a flock, but because your environment never interrupted it. And an uninterrupted biological loop does not fade, it hardens. Number 8. And this systemic stability has consequences most people miss, because crows don't keep a highly optimized node to themselves. They share data within their family units. A specific vocal frequency tells the roost that your house is stable. More confirmation density reduces uncertainty even further, until the system no longer feels like individual visits, but like a localized presence that has always owned the wire. Final idea. Most people ask the wrong question. Why does this crow keep coming back to me? But the return is just the symptom. The matrix is the phenomenon, and it was built quietly, over months, while you were looking at your phone. The real question is different. What did your daily life teach that crow that made your home worth encoding into its permanent memory? Because if you've seen that same silhouette more than once, you're not watching a random bird in your yard.